Evolution is defined primarily as the process by which different kinds of living organisms are thought to have developed and diversified from earlier forms during the history of the Earth. That's basically a fancy way of saying that living organisms are thought to develop over time in order to adapt to their ever changing environment. Changes such as temperature, available resources, predators, etc., etc. You get the point. Survival of the fittest, if you will. There are a number of fascinating creatures we could talk about, but today we will be discussing a creature that has seemingly evolved over time just like any other animal, only backwards. Today we'll be discussing the Mostilla putorius ferro, otherwise known as the common ferret. Now, I would be remiss if I did not clarify that the ferret that you and I know today is the domesticated form of the European polecat. The primary reason for domestication was hunting. Their thin bodies allowed them to easily chase after rabbits, rodents, and other animals that burrow to escape predators. But oh, how far these once noble creatures have fallen. The common ferret, or at least the North American ferret, is most well known for its nonsensical behavior, insatiable curiosity, thievish antics posted all over the internet. As with any animal, domestication eliminates the need to adapt to one's surroundings. So it is no surprise that the ferret, with no need to hunt for food or fend off predators, begins to stagnate or cease evolving. This is one of several reasons why the ferret behaves so abnormally as seen online. However, that's not to say the ferret's behavior is rooted solely in its domestication. Some of the peculiar behavior exhibited by the ferret is actually quite common for these animals. Behaviors such as their tail floofing in excitement, war dancing, which is movement categorized by rapid movements with an over-exaggerated arch of their backs, and excreting in corners while making direct eye contact. The ferret can come in a variety of different colors and patterns, some rarer than others. Examples of these colors include the albino, the cinnamon, the sable mask, the marked white, the panda, the chocolate, the blaze, the sable mitt, the black-eyed white, and the Siamese. All of these examples comes from Marshall's color chart. The common source of ferrets in the United States is actually Marshall's. Marshall's ferrets are identified by a marking or branding commonly found on the back of the ear. Let's not talk about Marshall's because their actions as a company are quite deplorable. That, and I don't really think I could handle a lawsuit right now. Ferrets are often made fun of for their hunchback appearance whenever they walk or play. This arch in their back actually allows them to be so incredibly flexible, which explains the ferret's miraculous ability to turn itself into a liquid upon being picked up, and how ferrets are seemingly resilient and impervious to fall damage. While they can be quite evasive by nature, it isn't impossible to get your hands on them. Just be wary of your toes and shoes, socks, bottles, essentially any valuables you wish not to be taken. Hi. We talked a lot about ferrets today. Some of it had some truth to it, some of it was a bit more exaggerated. But all in all, I believe I've accomplished my goal to entertain while mimicking the narrative nature of some of my favourite nature buffs like Steve Irwin and Coyote Peterson. Hint the accent and the horrendous name Cliff Outback. Except on a much smaller scale, with limited time and resources, and some minor procrastination, but I digress. I'm not much of a nature guy, but I'm starting to slowly come around to it by learning more about particular animals in small informational tidbits, like small videos you see online. It seems like ferrets are a very hit or miss pet, meaning people either love them or hate them. And since I happen to have an abundance of them on hand, I decided that they would be the perfect subject for my mockumentary. So I'd like to go ahead and thank you for your time. And remember, don't buy a ferret from Marshall's. Just don't. Goodbye.